Hey, how's it, Cowboy Buzz here? How you doing? So I wanted everything to kind of calm down before I made my video about all of season moves. I mean, you got guys making videos every day of, oh, Cowboys made this move, Cowboys made that move, Cowboys, this guy going here, this guy going there, da 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 da. So I just want to see if I can knock it out all on one video. So hopefully this video is not that long. Um, so yeah, the biggest one, the trade was Stephon Gilmore. You know, Anthony Brown again. I liked him more than most fans did. I liked him more, more than other people did. But you know what? Hey, if you can improve on it, by all means, go for it. And after his injury as well too, we tried so many guys. And one thing the thing is, like, if he's better than Anthony Brown, then we won the trade. The things that like the other things that the things that you want is like, is he making the quarterback hesitate so our pass rush can get to the quarterback, and all? Is he? And then the cherry on top will be like, man, he's being just so much of a ball hawk as Trayvon Diggs and all that. So that's the cherry on top. But the best thing about this move is that we get to keep the Ron Bland in that spot that was making him the most success when Dan Quinn found in that role, found that what makes him so successful. We talk about, everybody talks about that, putting your players in the best positions to make plays and be successful. That's what Ron Bland was doing when he was on the inside. He was causing so much havoc, being able to support against the run, being physical. Um, I don't know how many interceptions I think he had like 3 or 4 interceptions just by being working in the middle of the field, and being in the middle of everything. So that's the best thing about this move, and you get to keep the Ron Bland. Get to make all our players in the best positions possible, and everything. Then the Brandon Cooks one, I know a lot of people was pushing, I got the only one I'm sorry to say, the only one I'm glad that we didn't make was the OBJ one. Nothing against him, is just like there's too many injury concerns and all that, and the money. Nah, I didn't want that. Uh, D Hop. I think it was more speculation than anything. Des Bryant was doing his best damnedest to make it happen, but down. And then, but the Mike Evans one, like a lot of people wasn't talking about it, but a lot of people want to. There's some, not not everybody, but there's a few Cowboy fans that really want, like Simus in particular. He wanted this move done. Um, that one to me made the most sense. Like I said, the things that he was providing, because we was getting moving on from Noah Brown. You know, I thought that would make the most sense and everything, but it didn't happen. And what we ended up having, it was like kind of like, oh, because it's kind of like, for 2 years it's been talked about. We're gonna, and it's like, shut up, stop talking about Brandon Cooks. Right? It's not gonna happen. And finally, it took 2 years to happen, but it finally happened, and you know, and hopefully when he's in here, Michael Gallup either can be that goes back to the third option at receiver, and if his knee's healthy, and that's the best he can do, is be that third option, then I'm all for it. Or if like Michael Gallup come back stronger and he's feeling confident, he can do all the things that made it exciting when we watch him and all that. And Brandon Cooks is just he's the third option. Hey, you got good things going and all that. So yeah. Um, Chime Idoga, that's the one that most typical Cowboys one was like, okay, he's that protection, protecting yourself kind of signing, just in case if especially for the draft, if there's not a guard that is like you get most excited about, hey, he's there, so yeah. Ronald Jones, eh, hometown kid, brought him home. He gets to play for his home, for people that he knows in the area, his hometown people, and all that. And when you come back to your hometown, and you get and people to support you is there, it makes you more excited, and hopefully all that translates to the field. I know there's some fumble concerns about him, but you know what? Like I said, if all the excitement for him to come back home, you know what? Let's see it on the field and all that. Then we got the kid Stieg, the long snapper. Hey, please, let's be consistent. I mean, I cannot say playmaker this way, Brad. Let's be consistent. Let's do your job. As far as the guys that re-resigned and all that, the biggest names, the biggest thing was Donovan Wilson and LVE. Where I thought at one time we wasn't gonna get neither of them, but we ended up getting both of them. I thought the realistic thing was, the hopeful thing was is that Wheels can get one and lose the other. Donovan Wilson, again, that's the one I'm more excited about. That's because he gives that adrenaline rush. He hustles so much the ball find. When that happens, some reason the ball ends up in your hands and all that, and that's what he does. And then the way he blitzes and the way he supports against the run, again, adrenaline rush. And then LVE, Jabril Cox hasn't panned out the way I was hoping, because he was my, I'm a big fan of his. And then Damone Clark, maybe another year and all that. We lost Luke Gifford. Probably not gonna get Anthony Barr back, but when he was making a difference when he was on the field, LV, when he was, and the money wasn't that thing, and then hopefully his injuries is just a memory and not a constant talk about, So yeah, um, Tyrants, I mean, well, I'll go to Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, you know what? He signed his tag. Um, Probably the most money he made through his whole rookie contract, even probably doubled probably that. I don't think we have to tag him, but you know what? He gets his guaranteed 10 million. Hopefully this injury is not a hindrance and everything. So yeah. Tyron Smith, he restructured and we got him. And I know some people's like, okay, now we can do this, and no, I want to keep Tyler Smith at left tackle. Tyron Smith, I given up hope that he's gonna be healthy for all 17 games. This whole this get him to be where he's part of the team. You can bring him in. You can make him. You can make all battle lines where he's playing the outside of Tyler Smith, and we can run the ball that way. Or if Terrence Steele, and then if they feel comfortable that they can rotate them too, then I'm all for it and all that. But as far as like him being a starter, you know what? I just love the fact that he could be our best, one of the best swing tackles out there, and everything. So yeah, Cooper Rush, so if you're a fan of Hendon Hooker or Max Duggan, Hendon Hooker is most likely out unless he falls to a certain spot where it's like you gotta take him. I mean, is the best player available. You gotta take him and all that. And then Max Duggan is more like like I don't think he's like like a fit, like maybe if he falls to the sixth round, maybe they take him. Um, but like I don't know, but I think I see more Max Duggan getting it than Hendon Hooker and all that. But yeah, so if you but then like I said, wait, with Cooper Rush, he showed something in the Minnesota game 2 years ago. Last year he proved that he can be a solid backup. Like, hey, let's protect what we got and all that. Let's make sure we have somebody. The depth chart is solid and all that. Tack McKinley, and Dante Fowler. Hey, you get those guys back, especially Dante Fowler. He made some plays. He wasn't wrecking creating havoc and all that. But you know what though, when he gets on the field and you see Micah Parsons resting, you see D-Law resting, and he making plays, it's like that's one of the best things when your team is good is when your best players is not on the field and somebody's still making a play, and it's like we just game plan against these other guys, and we still cannot stop we can't even stop the backups. That's what makes it awesome when you have a solid depth and all that. So yeah. Yeah, we lost Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, and all them. You know, it happens, and I know Dalton Schultz. We offered him more money. He didn't get as much money. Hopefully, I'm not gonna be like a good for him. No, I'm not gonna be like that. If he's happy where he's at and he's happy about his, he's making money. So happy for him. Moved on. Like I don't see the too big of a difference between him and Ferguson and all that. Noah Brown, that's why the Mike Evans trade was making more sense because, you know, one thing that was always talked about Noah Brown, he's a good blocker, he's a good blocker. He started making plays in the passing game and all that. It's just the consistency wasn't there. I know a lot of people. I wanted to keep Cedric Wilson over him, but you know, it is what it is. Um, Little side note, Alacorn, the Mexican kid that we had at guard all the time, they moved him to defensive tackle. You know, I mean, I was trying to get him on the field. I was like, let's activate him for a game. Maybe he can come in and do something. You know, so hopefully this new position gives him more opportunities and all that. Cause I like the kid. I know my video is kind of long right now, so I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna make another video talking about probably the biggest cut that we made. All right, mahalo for watching. Paniolo boys, who you with? You know who I'm with. I'm with the Dallas Cowboys.